What's going on, guys? Bobby from the Urban Outlaw back at it with another video, and on this one we are going to talk about everyday carry, or EDC for short, in the firearm slash 2A community. A lot of everyday carry is personal preference, from the caliber you choose to the firearm brand you pick to the kind of holster you put it in. I would be willing to say 95% of it is personal preference. It's what you like, what you feel comfortable with, and how well you can shoot the caliber that you pick. Now, EDC has definitely changed over the years. A while back, there were only there were limited options on what you could carry. Most of it was a long time ago. Most of it was like a short snub-nosed revolver, because a lot of these semi-auto everyday carry firearms hadn't come out yet. So these pocket revolvers were the most popular, and with those you would only get about 5 shots, and a lot of those were 38 caliber, 380. So you weren't getting the punch of the 9mm or the 45, the 45 ACP. You weren't getting the punch of these bigger bullets. But thankfully for the 2A community, for all of us, the bullet technology and the firearm manufacturers have come a long way, and now we have a multitude of options that we can choose from. I will go over my everyday carry. I'm not going to go too specific into it, but because we're going to do breakdowns and talk about each one of the firearms that I do own and ones that are coming out. So I'll get into it briefly, and I'll give you a bit of an overview, since this is kind of a EDC for beginners. So we'll start with the firearm itself. This is a Smith & Wesson Performance Center Shield 9mm version 2.0. I went with the Performance Center because you kind of get a better overall firearm. You get the better sights. The high-vis sights, as you can see, come standard with it. The internals of the gun are polished and just more refined and honed. So it's just an overall smoother firearm than the normal version. I also went with the Smith because an EDC carry for weapon or firearm for me is kind of a tool, and I don't know if I could. This is just now a lot of this. This is just me, guys. A lot of it is really personal preference. And to me, I'm not going to spend $900 on something that I view at, $750, $800, $950 to, $1,000 on something that I view as a tool. I just need it to be reliable. I need it and comfortable. Those are my kind of two things that I look for the most when it comes to a everyday carry firearm. I chose the Smith because I've had very good luck with them in the past. I like the design that they have, the thin profile, which I'll show you guys. It is a single stack, so once again, the firearm is clear. There's nothing in there, no loaded magazine, nothing in the tube. So let me flip this over. It is a single stack, so it is very, very thin, which I am a fan of, because that makes it, I like the thinner firearms, because it makes, to me, it's a little more comfortable when you carry it inside the waistband, which is how I usually carry. So it's a single stack. The magazine is 8 rounds plus 1 in the tube, so it gives you an overall carry capacity of 9 rounds. And as you can see, I have the magazine kind of laid out here. It's stacked one on top of the, they call it a single stack because the bullets are stacked one on top of the other in the magazine. And then you have the extra, which is in the tube. I've kind of been a fan of that style for everyday carry because I like the thinner profiles. I'm not a big fan of big and bulky carry firearms. I would prefer the single stack ones, but that's just me. Another kind of personal preference is the holster. This is just a cheap holster. It is, I believe this is Blackhawk, and it's leather and neoprene, and that makes it incredibly comfortable. Whether you wear it abdomen, which is kind of in front of you in your stomach, or you wear it on the side, it's of your hip, which is what I usually carry on the hip. It's very comfortable. It's a very soft material. It's not abrasive. Another option that I do have, I don't have it with me right now, but another option would be the Kyvex, which are also very, very, very comfortable as well. The only I like to kind of be as unbiased as I can. Now, the only downfall to a single stack magazine is you sacrifice capacity. So a double stack magazine, which, like I said, we will go into further detail in another video. The double stack magazines give you more capacity, about double the capacity than a single stack, and I can understand why people are big fans of those, the double stacks. Now in Massachusetts, it's hard, unless it's a pre-ban, it's very hard for us to get double stack magazines because we're only allowed 10 round magazine capacity unless it is a pre-ban, which we'll touch on the pre-ban stuff and all of that on another video. But so most of our firearms in this state are going to have, whether it's a handgun or a rifle, are going to have single stack magazines. But I digress. That is the downfall to the some of these single stacks is you sacrifice capacity. You can only have a maximum of 10 rounds. This, like I said, my Smith & Wesson Shield, my everyday carry has a magazine capacity of 8 plus 1 in the tube, and so it's an overall of 9. So let's touch on a little bit of the bullet choice that you could have now in everyday carry weapons, firearms. It can go from anything from a 380, which is basically a shortened 9mm. This is 9mm Luger. It is basically a shortened version of the bullet I have laid out here. They are making some very, very good 380 caliber bullets. They're kind of competing and getting right up into the lower end of the 9mm. Like I said earlier in the video, we are very lucky that nowadays the bullet technology has advanced tenfold from what it was. They're designing 9mm bullets now to have as much impact and as much concussive energy when entering a target as humanly possible. So you don't necessarily always have to carry a bigger bullet to get the same end result, which is nice for us. Also, a lot of people pair everyday the firearm with either a good, reliable multi-tool or a knife, and a reliable small flashlight. So I don't have any of those on the table yet, but I do have a small Maglite flashlight that I do have in my Jeep at all times, just in case for emergencies. Everyday carry is basically about being prepared. You don't want to necessarily have to use it. You don't ever want to necessarily have to use it, ever. But it's just the fact that you're prepared and you have it just in case an emergency or a situation arises where you may need to defend yourself or other people around you. It's everyday carry is all about being prepared for whatever situation you could run into on that day. But I just wanted to give you guys a little preview on what my everyday carry was and kind of how I work it. So I have the Blackhawk holster, which I carry on the hip. I will show you how I'll show you how it sits in it. So let me get this. Unloaded magazine, guys. Let me show you. Unloaded magazine. So we'll put the mag in the firearm, and I will put it in the holster to show you how it sits. This is how it sits. The only thing that really sticks up out of your waist is the handle of the gun, and it sits inside the waistband on the side of my hip. So that is my everyday carry. I just kind of want to give you guys a little inside peek. I hope everybody found that helpful, and we will talk about, I think the next one we're going to talk about is going to be single stack compared to double stack, and we'll do kind of a side-by-side comparison on the thickness and just the overall look and appearance of the two choices. And I'll leave it up to you guys to pick which one you think is best. But that's going to do it for today's video. I hope everybody found it helpful. And as always, guys, stay humble, stay ready, and shoot straight. And I will see all of you on the next one.